Okay, so here we have a Boomerang out of Colorado. It's a Kilimanjaro. I purchased this a couple days ago, around 30 bucks online. Really great boomerang. Gets about 40 yards. I haven't had a boomerang since I was a kid. I'm 38 now. Went out and tried it. Had it come back to me a few times and caught it, but you know, nothing perfect. But I really wanted to make one, so I've ordered some wood, which isn't here yet. So Mr. Impatient, me, I had a piece of plexiglass laying around. As you can see, I've put the Kilimanjaro on there and traced it out, cut it out already. And I tell you what, plexiglass does not cut easy. It melts itself back shut. I used a jigsaw with a fine blade. It took a while, but it's pretty much a replica to this one. I've got it up here hanging. I've fooled with it quite a few times. As you can see, it's got pretty much the same shape. I've turned the edges down like it's supposed to be. You can see it's pretty fine. I've made it a little bit thinner. It was pretty heavy, so I've sanded down this whole side too on my belt sander. Remember, fiberglass, it took a while. Most people aren't making them out of this. It's my first one. When I tried it yesterday, it was heavy. It didn't seem to want to come right back to me, but we're going to try it again today with it being a little bit lighter. Now, the problem I ran into on my belt sander, as I was sanding off this edge on the bottom to make the whole thing thinner, to make it lighter, it warped really bad. You can see it's not warped now. What I did was I put it in my oven on a baking pan. Wasn't watching closely. As you can see right here, you can see where it's all pitted because it started to melt. I pulled it out of the oven just in time, put another flat pan on top of it, and squished it down for about 5 minutes, and it's fine now, and looks really good. So okay, so before we give it a test flight, I don't want to lose it. Of course, before I painted it with the primer, it was obviously see-through, so when I was testing, I lost it in my field a couple of times. It took me a little while to find it. So we're gonna throw on a coat of glossy white. Stops rust, not that it matters, it's fiberglass. And I'm going to the hardware store to pick up some fluorescent paints, because I'm sure those will be the brightest, probably in orange and green, and maybe something similar to that. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we're back. I've painted the back white, painted the front white, but I've also added some other colors. For some reason they don't show up as bright in my camera as I'm seeing. I got some stamps, some feathers. The fluorescent paints I bought are pretty much identical to the ones that are on the original Kilimanjaro. As you can see, they're starting to look a lot alike now. I didn't want them to be perfectly the same, but they're damn close. Something else that happened I didn't mention when it was in the oven and I was trying to flatten this one out. It brought the ends closer together. As you can see here, let me see here, I'm matched up there. You can see how much it shrunk it in. I don't know how much that'll affect the flight. Probably not much. But you can see that it actually did make it smaller. So anyway, we'll let the paint dry and